there ends the countdown. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Saturday morning live stream. And what else do I need to punch? I need to punch that one there. The Zoom session is open and waiting for people to come in. If you already have the credentials, you're welcome to go ahead and come in. I'm going to go over here and turn off the waiting room. That's off. Boy, that Zoom camera is, I might be having to make an adjustment to its exposure. It's really bright. Yeah, what a morning I've had. I think this is my fourth video today. I've done some recorded videos while I was waiting for the clock to wind up, and there's somebody coming in, and let's punch over to the Zoom and see who it is. I recognize that face. Hello, Ken.
Hey, Doug.
How are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I'm having a very enjoyable Saturday morning here.
Well, it's Saturday.
Yeah, let's see. So this camera is still misadjusted from that last live stream. It looks like I don't have any hair at all. Let's see. I got to go over to Zoom to adjust that. So I got a few things to catch everybody up on. There's been some new developments with Sheldon's computer from 2 days ago. Let's see, will that let me do a live adjustment? I don't know. And here comes Darren. Is that picture good? Well, okay, we need an AVDW check. Okay, I've been forgetting this lately. There's the watch. And get back over here. Hello, Darren.
Hello.
How are you today?
Okay. Just fixed all my hard drives.
Say again?
DVR's good.
I got my 8 terabyte back.
You got your 8 terabyte back.
Yes.
Well, I
There's
think,
there's a long story about this one.
I think I must be out of the loop on that one because that doesn't sound too familiar to me. Catherine.
Oh, they all laughed about it.
All right. Catherine says I have white hair, not no hair, so I guess my hair is okay.
Right.
Yeah. Why?
So, Darren, you want to bring him up to speed or you want me to do it?
I'll let you.
Go ahead.
A couple of days ago, Darren does a Zoom with me. He says, "You're not going to believe what happened to me." And he tells me the first thing, and he deletes 8 terabyte of data, or data, depending on how you pronounce it, accidentally.
Oh.
So that in itself is bad. He goes, but wait, it gets worse. So what could possibly be worse than deleting 8 terabyte of data, but deleting another 8 terabyte of data? So that's kind of bad. Now, bear in mind, I'm trying to keep a straight face through all this because he's trying to keep a straight face through all this. And he goes, but wait, it gets worse. And it did.
Okay.
I think you got most of it back, didn't you, though, Darren?
Yeah, I was all did. I was ripping apart anyway.
Okay, so when you said you got your 8 terabyte drive back, that meant you restored the data. I thought you were getting it shipped back to you or something.
I actually couldn't get my data back. I just
you didn't?
wiped it.
Okay, so, but now it's usable to you.
It's usable.
Okay.
It was stuck on 2 terabytes.
All right.
And I re-put in my motherboard, the SATA cables, then GTP it so I could work it to 8 terabytes. So it's GTP or something you have to use to convert it to 8.
Oh, what's that, a utility program?
No, when you convert it, it comes up as dynamite sort of thing on the top, and then underneath you got GTP. So you GTP on your restore, and you hit that, and it gives you the 8 terabytes or whatever size hard drive you got back.
Okay.
It only took us half an hour working it.
Okay. Well, glad you got it back. Sounds like something that JTP. I'm not familiar with that. Well, let's go ahead and get caught up with chat room here. Some hellos going on at the beginning of the first person came in 9:36 was you, Darren. And then, well, let's see. Ken says hello. Tony Wallow comes in with $4.99 support for the channel. Thank you so much, Tony. And some hellos and checking in with each other, being health-wise, I suppose. Let's see, we got Tony and Ida and Rick Lakes, CFWW, and then trying not to miss names here. Not actually reading through all of it because you're all talking to each other mostly, it looks like. Ida comes in with $5. Thank you, Ida. Appreciate that. And again, people check in with each other. No worries. Believe me, I get that. Name of new songs, get that. Not to be confused with Get Back. 29 degrees where Rick Lakes is. Ida's got 79 degrees. Ken's got 47 degrees. Rick doesn't have snow yet. I heard that Hawaii has more snow than Denver, Colorado recently. A news item this morning. I didn't know Hawaii gets snow. Is that unusual?
I saw that too, and I'm still shaking my head. I've got to actually research it one of these minutes to see, because that was crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. Well, part of it is because I think it was saying Denver rather than Colorado. Denver is apparently having a very low snowfall so far. Ken's hoping no snow in central Illinois. Hello's going on here. Minnesota, that's where my brother Tom is. For Minnesota, we should have snow by now. Glad we don't yet. Tom was on a video recently when we got a new Dell laptop for him. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Matthew. And who else we got here? Blackwatch, hello. No matter what Ida says, who does, what? I think that was supposed to be she does like me a little. Quite misspelled there. Autocorrect didn't get it. Didn't fix it. Catherine saying hello to me. Some more chit chat. Whoops. Scrolled too early. Doug, you're too early, kid. Blackwatch doesn't want me in doing videos this early, I guess. I do not have creds, but I look ugly anyways. Oh, Catherine, no. Creds. What's the creds in reference to? I don't know.
Credentials to get in.
Oh, Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hi.
She says what?
Credentials to get in the
credentials. I do not have credentials. Oh, so I need to email it to him. She was in on Thursday. I guess she misplaced the credentials since then.
So while you're doing that, It says the snow is above 11,000 feet. So it's kind of a misleading thing. They say snow in Hawaii, but they failed to let you know it's at above 11,000 feet.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I was assuming that.
Blizzard warning issued for Hawaii with at least 12 inches of snow.
And I agree with. Whoa.
11 inches of snow in Hawaii. Is that what you said?
It says 12.
Yeah, what I
predicted.
Heard was 12. So let's see here. I'm going to
hey, Gary.
Re-forward.
Hello.
How are you today?
All right. I couldn't find your thing you were talking about.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
We can cover it tonight. I mean, after all, it is Saturday night.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Imagine that. Oh, geez.
All right, Catherine, email sent. If anyone else wants their credentials to come into Zoom, just send me an email, DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com. That's the address there. And back to Zoom. Well, no, back to the chat window. Blackwatch, Alex, no doubt, and Bozo Ken Stout. I haven't comprehended what that's saying yet. No doubt, and Bozo Ken. Is he just trying to be a poet there? rhyming. You have white hair, not no hair, AVDR, okay, everything good, AV good. Tony the Tarot Wallow. Huh, okay, Blackwatch's new name for Tony. The Tarot Wallow. That's got to be he's got to be trying to sound like some other word or phrase that I'm not getting.
Tony Wallow.
Well, I know Tony Wallow. I know that he's referring to Tony Wallow, but what is Tarot Wallow? What is the jab he's trying to make there, or the tease? I don't know. It just may be a nonsense.
Well, the O and the Y aren't near one another on the keyboard, so it can't be an error.
Yeah. Well, clearly with the word the, he's trying to come up with. He got a colon and the word the. He wasn't trying to type Tony. Catherine says all bad things comes in threes like Cerberus. Cerberus, right? Not Cerberus? Cerberus. I kind of recognize the word, but I can't say that I really know it.
Catherine, good job. Yes. Oh.
Am I? Well,
it's at the bottom of
at
chat.
the bottom. Okay, well, I'll get to it. Ken to Catherine, hello, and so true. It's funny even to Darren. John Aloha Senior, hello, John. Saying hello to us from Virginia. Hellos. Convert MBR to GPT, the new format for Windows. Is that what Darren was referring to earlier? Darren, is that what you were trying to tell me about your 8 gig drive or 8 terabyte drive in regards to converting MBR to GPT? I think Darren's away.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
That's it.
That is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that had.
I had 2 ways of doing it: the normal way and that way. And actually, anything over 2 terabytes, you do it that one.
Okay. So was that? So you didn't use the Windows utility MBR to GPT?
It's in Windows anyway. It's in the Windows where all the hard drives go up to, and it goes into there, and you just convert it back over.
All right.
Took about 5 minutes to do.
All right, moving on. Catherine asking everybody to like the video. Thank you so much. So let's see what I got. I got showing 17. I was 16 when I turned my head. It's now 17 and 12 likes. Chat revenue $11.99. Thank you, everybody. Rick, let's see. Hello's. Darren's got rain. Oh, and here's Tom K with $2. Thank you, Tom. And saying happy holiday and happy holiday to you, or Merry Christmas, whatever your preference. And Blackwatch warning, Ken Stout broke out of his case this morning and is running rampant on the www. The www, the WB. That's what he's referencing there. WB was a broadcasting network, something like that. Broke out of his case this morning and is running rampant on the www. Creds for Zoom, yes, and we got that too. Catherine, was that a senior moment? I don't know which moment he's referring to, but I have senior moments all the time. They're just Doug moments. I've been having them. I've been claiming old age as a problem for my memory ever since I was 22 years old. So, can I really call it a senior moment, or is it just a Doug moment? Speedy C says hello. Blackwatch Cat said bozo.
Yep, that was good. That was good.
Cerberus 3.
And she retracted it? Oh, Cat, put that back. That was fine.
Oh, is that what you were laughing at? The one that?
Yes, when I seen it, that was great.
Well, this Cat was saying, but Blackwatch said Cat said bozo before Catherine's message.
Oh, no, she didn't retract it. It's at 1:10 my time, 11:10 your time. Couple up from what Blackwatch said.
Right, this one here, bozo? At 11,
Yes. I thought she
bozo.
retracted that one. She didn't. It was another one. So,
All right.
No, that's awesome.
I'm missing something. Explain
Yes,
this. What did
you
I
are.
miss? Was this in reference to an earlier chat? comment?
Couple weeks back, we were talking about Amazon, and I had a fraudulent slip, and I said Bezos.
Oh.
And since then, I've inherited the nickname Bozo.
Oh, I see it. I just did a search for Bozo in the chat, and it's there a few times. Okay.
I should go live some night a little earlier to accommodate your senior moments, and you should join us one night and just hang out.
Well, I've had it in my mind that I intend to do that next time you send me a notice. But if I'm available, that the last time you sent me a notice saying if you're available, well, I wasn't.
Sure, no.
Because days are busy. So then, whatever that one was retracted, well, I'll deal with Cerberus, three-headed dog guarding hell. Oh, yeah, okay. Cerberus is a three-headed dog guarding hell. So, wow, where did she... Now I got to go back and see what was the rest of that comment about.
Things come in three.
All
bad things come in three.
Oh, yeah, there it is. All right, so then if I go back down to the second occurrence of that.
And Tony is right. Tony sent me a message on my phone. That's good one.
All right.
I can tell you what he said.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bloody hell.
Okay. That's the end of it, right?
That's all he said.
Okay.
Again, it's those of us... Darren, we're not picking on you. Now someone's joining us.
Catherine. Hello, Catherine. Let's bring up the Zoom session. Say hello to Catherine.
Hi, Kat.
Thanks for coming in. She's still connecting to audio, so we're not hearing you yet, Catherine. There you go. I think we can hear you now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, wait.
There you go. I think we can hear you now.
Whoa, wait a minute.
But you got to mute your
Is that Gary?
audio. No, that's Catherine.
Yes, I muted it.
You muted it. Thank you so much. All right.
Sorry. I'm always too slow for this. Oh, no.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which way do I lean to match Catherine's lean. No, this way. That way I'm matching Catherine's lean, right?
Doug just gave me a great idea for tonight.
Oh,
yes,
really?
he did.
You're gonna turn your camera
what
upside
have I
down.
done?
I'm going to blame it on Doug. You're good, Catherine. Don't worry about it. Everybody lean to the left. Everybody lean to the right. Oh, now some of you lean to the... Never mind. I'll shut up, Doug. It's your show.
All right, let me move on. Let's see. Let's move our picture up here. That was the elevator ride for you guys. Worldwide Bozo. I like the word Bozo. It's funny. It's like pongos in Spanish. The Bronx 9, $5 lira. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, he says. Doug is missing something. Everything on the upper floors. What you think, Ken Stout? Okay, I'm struggling. Help me, Ken. Help me with his humor. Doug is missing something. Everything on the upper floors. What do you think, Ken Stout? Now, Catherine gets it. Ken's got his what. You know what's going on, and the way you're holding your face. You don't want to tell me, do you? Are you going to explain it to the simple mind?
But I explained the joke to you.
Okay, yeah.
He probably talks about your brain in the upper floor.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, all right. Missing something upper floors. What do you think? All right. Moving on. Oh, that has to do with all the senior moment stuff, wasn't it? I have senior moments, far too many of them. I just enjoy the heck out of them. I don't even feel embarrassed about them anymore. Catherine, I retracted the Cerberus reference because it was wrongly explained. Oh, that's what her retraction was up there. All right. And then Blackwatch, the great disk destructor. So I've got a couple things to catch you guys up on. We did a couple weeks ago, we did a live stream with Sheldon's laptop that it wouldn't turn on. And we tracked that down to being the power port, the AC port on, this was the DC port, the power. Why am I having struggle naming it?
Senior moment.
Thank you.
Just call it AC/DC port. Then you have two possibilities, and one of them is correct.
Yeah, well, DC is correct because the port that's built into the laptop is DC. It is not AC. So the power port on the laptop, I've got the laptop right here. So I did some more futzing around with it, and I discovered that I could get it to take a charge on the old battery and the current battery. I was able to get it fully charged, and I did a full discharge and full charge, recharge again, and it was over 2 hours both directions. So I called Sheldon yesterday saying that, okay, you can, well, actually he sent me a text asking for an update. Well, I had sent him I had given him a voice message the day before that he never heard that, where I told him the power port is defective and I ordered a new one. So yesterday morning I told him, I repeated that on the phone with him, and I told him that I thought I now had it at a point where you could fuss with the AC adapter plugged into the computer and get it to take a charge. Let it sit alone, don't use it while it's charging. Let it get fully charged, then disconnect the AC adapter and then use it for a couple hours. And then plug it in, leave it alone, and let it charge. And the reason why I was saying that is because I wanted to avoid him moving the computer around with the AC adapter plugged into it, because I think that would wear it down more. So anyway, I went through all this and he said, okay, I think I can do that, fine. Couple hours later, yesterday, he called me and said, Doug, about the new laptop. And I told you guys already that you ordered a new laptop. It wasn't expected for a couple of weeks. About that new laptop, the delivery date, where it was expected in 2 weeks, it showed up today. His laptop that was expected 2 weeks actually showed up yesterday, unexpected, unannounced, without a signature. They left it on his front doorstep without anyone signing for it.
Amazon.
So here it is. We've got it. I have it. He brought it over yesterday. So I'm going to set it up for him today, transfer his stuff over. But this live stream today, I wanted to take this opportunity to experiment with different methods of breaking the internet connection during the setup of a Windows 11 computer in order to do a local account, because we want a local account for him. I don't think his old computer is on a Microsoft account. Now that I'm asking myself that, I should check on that. But I want to go ahead and take the opportunity to experiment anyway. So I'm just over here. You're not really seeing that very well right now. You're seeing it from a distance. I went into sign-in options. Now this computer is currently doing the Fabs auto backup to put his data. Oh, it is a Microsoft account. Oh well, I'm still going to experiment with the local account because this is a good opportunity to do that. And I've already done a couple videos this morning with that computer. I did an unboxing video and I did the Fabs auto backup startup video. Those will get launched. Those will get uploaded to my channel as recorded videos. And it's still running the Fabs auto backup. So I'll probably take a clip out of this video to show that. Now, a couple other things. Thursday, we did 2 live streams. And the first one was, let's go over here. That's not the right button. There, right button. Let's go over here and find that. Here's that. The first live stream from Thursday was Windows 11 experiment. No, it's not. That's not that. That's the one we're doing now. Yeah. This one. The SSD can't be read from USB to SATA. An adapter, and it was prompting Jose to initialize it. And we said, no, don't initialize it. I realized this morning that I had promised in that video that I was going to put in a timestamp if somebody was coming to that video just to see that answer. So, and I hadn't done it yet. So I did that this morning. I'm going to go show a little bit about that. So down here, Here's the way the time index works. Time index for this video. So I've got a 00, that's the Google Earth pre-show. Then I've got at 6:37 is introduction. So if you go and look at this time index, you can click on this 6:37, it will take you right to that point in the video. Then at this 14:55, I had the description from Jose of the problem. And then at 40:47, a demonstration with the adapter that produces the message to initialize. I'm going to turn off the CPU statistics here so you can see that. And then at 45:33, using an adapter that works correctly. Then what's next? 1 hour 36, how to request free computer support. At 1 hour 37, another example of Doug being confused and not knowing what he's doing. Do I get any laugh from the Zoom session for that? Not even a chuckle.
Okay, all together now.
Obviously.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, how much do we pay for that?
How empty was that?
I'm telling you. How much support did I get?
I did prep for that. How much support did you get?
Yeah, I asked everybody to laugh at the same time.
I didn't hear anybody from the chat room that's not in the Zoom session laughing.
No one in chat is doing the old LOL at all.
No?
No.
Okay.
Blackwatch, do your thing.
Hey, that was funny. I liked all the laughter.
Boy. Yeah, it didn't happen. So but that time index is where I, thought I had ended the first stream and was starting the second stream, but the first stream was still going. That was what that
On a serious note, do you have to make a setting for it to time index, or does it do it automatically?
No, it's automatic. If you just put that in there, the documentation for it says you have to title it, and I don't even remember how they said title, but title a section, and the first entry has to be 0:00. But I've experimented with it, and if you just put a time entry in there with some kind of statement after it, it'll pick it up.
Okay.
Anything, and it automatically shows up in blue. So it's automatically clickable. If you see it clickable, then boom.
Yeah, it'll go to that time. Okay.
Yeah, it's just automatic. It takes a little bit of work to do that because you got to go back and review your video and go forward and backward and try to find the spots that you want to index like that. So let's see, back to chat. Catherine, good too. Unusual for the season. Mail is awful. That, in relation to the shipping. Oh, but it was so surprising to get it there that early. With Windows 11 Pro, there's just a button for offline an account. I haven't seen that. For 11 Pro, yes. And that's because of the corporate environment. But Windows 11 Home, that's not the case. And this computer is Windows 11 Home. Ken Sao, Doug is going to try to break the internet. Sure. Good day, Sam. Watching from the garage while my truck is being diagnosed. Hellos. Hi from the drunken troll. Get Doug a program of his videos. He forgets them 4 minutes after they end. Well, yeah. Hellos. I'm going to ask him what is the secret to I'm going to ask him what his secret is to remember. Actually, I will love to remember 4 minutes later. Okay. Thanks for asking, Rick. Each day is same now. Old age, slap wrist. But maybe that's reference for me about that video. I didn't realize was not over. What is pants? Cheese It Jeff and Vegas Mob is here. Matthew had a senior moment. Blackwatch, be careful. I know some guys from Toronto I can send over. So I had almost named today's video different than what I did. Let's see, this one called Windows 11 Experiments Interrupting Internet for Local User Account. I almost named it Internet Interruptus.
Latin, I like that.
Yeah, and then I thought, well, I might get an advertiser friendliness hit on that. And then I thought, well, is that a thing? Internet interruptus.
What does that mean? Doug, what does that mean?
Well, that's how we get a Windows 11 local account, by interrupting the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the word interruptus is commonly used in a different context that might
That's why you're
be
gonna laugh now.
advertiser unfriendly. And turns out it is a thing for internet. Unexpected blessings of internet interruptus, and here's a internet interruptus, and here's internet interruptus, and then there's coitus interruptus. So that's the advertiser unfriendly part. That I think.
My
Now,
wife doesn't want me to listen to this.
say again?
My wife doesn't want me to listen to this kind of thing.
Oh, all right. What else do we got?
Jeez.
USB thumb drives I have in my notes. I ordered some USB thumb drives that were intriguing to me. Let's see who we got here. Hello, Alex. There he is. All right. So I ordered these a 10 pack of these 16 gigabyte SanDisk Cruiser Force 16 gigabyte. It's only USB 2.0, but I couldn't find it in the USB 3.0, and I haven't actually tried it yet. But the thing I was interested in here is I've got this little drawer over here where I keep USBs. And then sometimes when you plug in a USB, there's not a whole lot of space. And what I liked about this one, I wanted one with no moving parts, no cap, no slider, no swivel thing, and that's exactly what this is. It just goes straight into the USB and USB port, and they store easily, and it's large enough that I can label it. And it's SanDisk 2.0. It's colored red, which I don't know. I kind of like. I'm expecting 2.0 to always be black.
How much were they?
Oh, they were. Let's go over here, and yeah, here I got it right on this screen. Here they are. 10 pack for $57.88, and I figured I can return them. It was on Prime, so if I don't like it, so I ought to try one. So I'm not really so concerned about speed of USB thumb drives. I know Carrie is. But I don't do large data transfers typically from USB thumb drive. It's more for bootable, doing installations of operating systems. So anyway, that's all I wanted to point out on that. Now, this new computer here. I have not yet opened it. Kerry Holzman demonstrated a couple Dell laptops where when he opened the lid, it would turn the computer on. Did not have to press an on button. So I was wondering if that would be the case here. I have never opened this lid. I unboxed it this morning. I did an unboxing video that'll be uploaded to my channel later. I'll go ahead and open it and see if it automatically powers on. Not hearing anything. I was thinking that automatically power on was probably due to a closing lid setting that doesn't truly execute a shutdown. Still nothing happening. There's no power buttons visible on the side. There's a button in the top right corner, just like Stan and Tom's laptops, with no, I don't see any indicator on it at all that it is a power button. And let's see what I want to get that. Wi-Fi, let's see, I've got a Wi-Fi dongle. I thought I still had it out here. I got a couple ideas how I want to toy around with this for disconnecting the internet during the initialization process. So there's the power on, and I have my HDMI cable connected, but I'm probably not going to be able to get an HDMI signal until the Windows display drivers show up. Catherine, were you talking to us or somebody else?
No, my cat, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, so there's the Windows splash screen. It is not connected to the internet yet and asking for the country. Let's go change. I'm going to go change. Turn that camera to be a automatic adjustment of settings. Where is it? This one.
Hey guys,
Yes.
I'm probably very particular when it comes to this kind of stuff, but how does the placement of the power jack, the power cable bother you any?
The placement of the power.
Like where the power cord plugs in.
Well, it plugs into a USB-C port on this computer. This computer has 3 USB-C ports. I think you can use any of them. Are you referring to where it plugs in on the computer?
Yes.
No, I can't say that I'm bothered by it. What are you referring to?
I mean, it just the way I was looking at it, it seemed like it might be in the way, so you would accidentally like knock it out.
I'm not saying that for this connector. My Microsoft Surface computer is bad in that regards, because it plugs up on the side of the monitor, and it's just a very tiny little thing. But this is a pretty significant. I can't even. I'm trying to pull it out, and it takes some force to get it out.
Hey, Doug, what model is that computer?
It is. I looked that up and put it on the other video this morning. Right now, all I know about it is what I have on this label on the box, which is enough to answer the question. Inspiron 15, model 3511, carbon black, 15.6 inch, i5 10035G1 processor, 12 gigabytes. I'm looking at the wrong box. That's not it. That was Stan's. That was Stan's computer.
I was going to say that wasn't very impressive.
That was not very impressive. Yeah, I didn't think that was sounding right.
Man, I got 3 things written down already for tonight.
I'm giving you content, huh?
You are.
All right. I'm worried.
It's all good, Doug.
It says 9510, platinum silver / black, 15.6 inch FHD display with webcam. Performance Intel Core i7 11800H processor. So that's
Not bad.
when I read the processor, I said, wait a minute, 10,000? No, that's not it. i5? No, that's not it. 16 gigabytes memory, 512 gigabyte SSD, NVIDIA GeForce graphics, Windows 11 Home. Now that 512 gigabyte SSD, it's hard to imagine that it's not an NVMe. And it seems to me that sometimes the blurbs will say SSD and it's not giving it the full credit of being an NVMe. So
what Dell
go ahead.
what Dell likes to do is they put a hard drive or SSD and an M.2 on some of them.
What would that be for one of those that hybrid thing that I'm trying to remember the name of it. Optane.
No, that's just what they're doing is they're giving you a boot drive,
Yeah.
the M.2, and then they're giving you one for storage, basically.
Okay, well this only indicated one storage space, an SSD 512 gigabyte. So you're thinking that they made...
You said 512. I apologize for interrupting. No, I
Yeah.
said 1.2.
No.
Sorry.
No.
512. Yeah, that's 512 is just going to be a one SSD.
Yeah. Of course, I have to double check that because I don't trust my memory. You all know that. Yeah, 512 gigabyte.
It's hard to believe. I mean, you know.
All right.
I may have to do 2 shows after all these comments.
All right, coming back to the computer. So here when I'm aimed at the keyboard, the camera's auto adjusting. So I've got United States.
So let me have my senior moment. Is that a different type of power from the brick that plugs into the laptop, not the old pin type thing?
Yeah, well, it's a USB-C connector.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Okay.
it's a USB connector, and there's one USB port on the right side of the computer, and there's 2 USB ports on the left side of the computer. Currently, I have this adapter on the left side, which has a connection for a external HDMI and a USB-A connection. Don't have good lighting there. There's a moment right there, I guess. Not good, but anyway. All right.
USB-C, got it. Cool, thank you.
These come in really handy, Ron, for me, because all of our phones and my computer all have USB-C, so all the devices are interchangeable.
Yeah, I like that USB-C, and that means you can plug in the power on either side. All right, let's hit the next step here. So United States, yes. Is this the right keyboard? Yes. Skip for the second keyboard. And here wants to be connected to a network. The next button, as most people already know, is grayed out. We cannot click next until we actually connect to a network.
So there's no button that says I don't have internet or something like that.
True. No, right. Not on Windows 11 Home.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I have to connect to the internet. If you're wanting to get a local account, then you have to have a way to disconnect the internet quickly afterward. When I was doing the setup remotely for my brother Tom, he didn't have a method to do that. And we tried a couple ways and didn't accomplish it. There's a few ways that you can accomplish it. So first I'm looking at the function key buttons up here to see if any of them will disable Wi-Fi. And if that is the case, we should see a button that has what looks like an antenna or an airplane. That's usually what they look like. For airplane mode, which would mean Wi-Fi off, or the antenna would be a Wi-Fi antenna. And none of those buttons have that on this computer. So that tells me this computer is not going to have a keyboard method for disconnecting Wi-Fi. So then a method that I've used on another video was to have a USB connected Wi-Fi adapter. And when doing that, we get a new option. We get a new option on this screen that allows us to choose which Wi-Fi adapter we want to use. And I think that's one piece of my preparation that I neglected to locate that device.
So basically what they're saying, and basically what I understand they're saying is if you buy a Windows 11 computer at all, and you don't have internet, you're crap out of luck.
Oh yes, yes. If you don't have a way to connect to the internet, you're not going to get the computer running, as far as I can tell.
Well, to interrupt you, Doug, theoretically with Pro, you need to connect to a server.
You need to connect to a server before you get the option for a local user account?
Yep. Oh, no, for Windows Pro, yes.
All right, that was a string of answers that confused me.
No, for Windows Pro, you don't need to get an external Windows account.
Well, I know for Windows 11 Pro, you'll have a button or an option somehow somewhere to click on to do a local user account. But are you saying that in order to get that option available, you have to be connected to a server?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Server.
Say again?
Server first, then external.
Server first, then external. Okay, so you got to connect to a server, and then you can create a local user account. So now basically the idea behind that is that Windows 10 or 11 Pro, one of the benefits that you get with Pro is you're able to connect to a domain server.
Local user account, yeah.
No, drop the drop the user account. But with Windows 10 Pro, with Windows 7 Pro, the Pro operating system, one of the features that you get with Pro over Home is that you can join a Windows domain or an Active Directory. You cannot do that with Windows Home on any version. So when you're connecting to a server and to a domain, I should say domain because a peer-to-peer server doesn't qualify. A workgroup server I don't think is going to qualify for that.
No.
So if you want to connect to a domain, then Microsoft is letting you have a local user account because requiring your end users to use a Microsoft account when they're connecting to a domain server has security implications and functional implications. So under the Pro series, when you join a domain, you really need to be able to have a local user account. If they require that in a domain environment, that would just cause a whole lot of havoc in the business environment. So on a standalone, if you buy, Carrie likes to use Windows Pro operating system all the time because it's very small amount increased cost when he buys his bulk of licenses. $2.
Speaking of Carrie, he's in the chat room.
Oh, is he? Oh, I haven't gone to the chat room recently, so I need to go get there. But so, Gary, with your comment about having to connect to a domain server, that makes me think that if I have a Windows 11 Pro computer here, I may not see that button to click to create a local user account while I'm connected to the internet, based on what you're saying. I'd like to test that someday. I better go over and chat and catch up because I've been neglecting chat, haven't I? Sorry, chat. Yeah, but Catherine's in the Zoom session, so she's not going to chew me out for that.
No. Yours anyway.
Huh?
It's your Zoom session anyway. You can say and do whatever you want.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you. But you have told me on occasion that I'm not coming back to chat often enough.
Yes,
and you're right.
I tell you when I get angry, then I tell you.
Yeah.
But when I'm happy, then I tell nothing.
All right. So then moving on here, let's see. Today's video renamed Dazed and Confused in Fresno. Moving along. Morning, evening, afternoon. Choose one. I need to start skipping to the ones that are hitting me in orange. SanDisk black and red. Wait a minute. Black and red. Was that referring to the USB thumb drives, Catherine?
What?
This comment that you made about typical for SanDisk black and red. Were you responding to me
No,
or
it's
somebody
just their color layout on the USBs. Usually they only have black and red.
on the tongue of the USB?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought.
Or somewhere else.
Okay.
They have normally. I know my red black SanDisk USB drive that I have.
Yeah.
That's from SanDisk, and all the others they have a different color. They have a completely different color scheme.
Okay. I just want to be sure you are referring to this to the tongue, right? The connector as being red or black, or were you referring to the body of it?
Just the body or somewhere else too.
The body. Okay.
SanDisk is
Yeah. Well.
usually black and red.
Yeah. Well, what I was commenting about was that this has a red tongue, and I normally expect a colored tongue on USB to be an indication that it's USB 3.0 or above, and this is a 2.0 and it's
So
red.
on SanDisk it's not.
All right.
I mean, SanDisk does not exist anymore. It's gone.
And my comment about that I might return them had to do with if I don't like them. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Google eyes. Catherine. Let's see. How much did the laptop cost? I don't know how much he paid for it because he ordered it directly. And I have told now about the model, and we'll eventually get to a service tag so we can even see more specifics. 2 days more, I'm fine. Excellent to hear. Google eyes promises to be nice. Google eyes, I'm really the nicest person you'd meet. I promise you, as everyone that knows me personally say that. I have very good reasons for what I said, and I can prove it, but that's another story. And oh, Google eyes, is that the one? That's the one we had trouble with last time, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we had some trouble with Google eyes being really kind of harsh, and I invited him to send an email to me to do a session and show us what he's talking about. I never heard from him. Let's see. Ken, Doug extended the olive branch, so to speak. Your opinions and experience are just as valid as anyone's, and I agree with that. However, you devalue that of others is not cool, and I agree with that. So I hope we're going to have a better experience with Google Eyes today. There goes Ken on the vegetarian again. What is next? Carrots all around. You have limit 2 carrots per day. I don't want to get into it, but I have proof. Big diff. It's not an opinion, it's proof. Okay, well that's what I was saying, Google Eyes. Send me an email. Let's show you your proof. Doesn't really serve much purpose to just say that and not back it up. Just asking around to see if anyone know about any of these speakers that are mounted on the side. Yes, they do. Actually, one of my favorites. Here's Carrie. With Windows 11 on a Dell laptop during setup with 11, I connect Wi-Fi. When it asks me to create an online account, I turn off the router since there is no way to disable Wi-Fi. I do have a way to disable Wi-Fi. And that would be useful for somebody who can't conveniently disconnect the Wi-Fi, which was my brother Tom. His Wi-Fi device was too far away from the computer, so he couldn't do that. But I do have a way to disconnect Wi-Fi, even if the computer doesn't have a button for that or a switch for it. You don't need to connect to a server. Pro is a Windows version. AD or AAD is optional. Well, that doesn't really answer the question that I had. So I don't know if you're really addressing the question that I was saying there, because I know Windows Pro is a Windows version, and I know that Active Directory or Amazon, what do they call it? Active Directory is optional. Yeah, I know
I know that on Windows 10. I know that on Windows 10 Pro in the setup, there's the option for a local account actually says join a domain. But when you click on that button in the setup, it doesn't ask you for to connect to a server. All of that you do is create a local account.
But you're telling about Windows 10, did you say?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I know in Windows 10 you can.
yeah, Windows 10 isn't our interest at this point.
No.
So yeah, this question we're posing regarding Windows 11 because it's behaving differently. Hello, Carrie. And yes, hello, Carrie. Great to see you. Then I click to create a new MS account. There is no internet, so it times out and asks me to create a local account. And absolutely, you have to have an internet connection to get past this point that I'm showing on the screen right now. And for anyone that didn't have that, I got it right here. So it's waiting to connect to this Wi-Fi, and the next button is not available.
What happens if you try to hit Control Shift F3 like I talked about before to go into the audit mode? That should boot you directly into the desktop.
Well, yeah, it gets you into the desktop in the audit mode. It's not initializing the computer. The purpose of the audit mode, as I understand it, is to make additional changes to the configuration of the operating system, but then somebody's got to go through this user account initialization, because the audit mode is not creating a user account, right?
Right, but because
what's the point?
You can get to the desktop through the audit mode, you can, once you get into the audit mode, you can then go into the settings and create a user account.
Create a local user account there too. That sounds more complicated than what the options that we have available by disconnecting internet. But it's at this screen right here that you said I can do what key to get to audit mode?
Control Shift F3, I believe, is the key combo.
Control Shift F3. Well, I am curious to see if that's available on a manufacturer's computer. Control Shift F3.
And some laptops you may have to do, depending on the model of the laptop, you may have to do Control Shift Function F3.
Yeah, that looks like that is the case. So Control Shift Function F3. Now I did not connect to the internet. So I think we're waiting for it to come to the desktop. Oh, it's going to reboot. That's right.
It should automatically load the
desktop. That's right. Reboot. So I did do Control Shift FN and F3 to do this when we're at the screen where it's asking us to connect to the internet. So this is going into audit mode.
It'll probably come up and ask you about sysprep, but you can just ignore that.
Okay. Now, it seems to me that audit mode should not allow you to create a user account, but we'll find out. So here's the Windows 11 desktop in audit mode. Here's the system preparation tool. Now let's see if I can get the HDMI capture here. Yes. Yeah, so there I've got it through the capture cable. Move the picture in picture. And is this coming through the video okay?
Yes.
All right. I didn't get caught up with chat, so I'm gonna switch back over and get caught up with chat, and then we'll come back to this audit mode and see what we can do with it. Sweet but healthy. What do you want more? Hello to Carrie. Hello to Carrie. Can point. They carry. Carrie, I sent U.S. mail to you this morning. And hellos. I'm stumbling here. Nice to see you in chat. Hellos. Halo. Troll, good afternoon. And hello. Oh, there's more. Michael, Catherine, Dr. Toll, Google Eyes. I didn't see that comment, Doug, but I will get in touch. Doug, I have no problem explaining. Would love one-on-one on phone with you as you seem. No, it's not going to be one-on-one. What I'm inviting you to do is to come into a Zoom with me in a Zoom session while we do a live stream and you show what you have. I'm self-employed. I'm not giving away free conversations. I'm not going to call you support. I'm not going to take the time with you one-on-one on a phone call for you to tell me whatever you have to tell me. I want you to come on and in a Zoom session, and we do a live stream, and we show what you're talking about. And thank you for the comment about level-headed and decent. I do think that's the case. But if you're not going to pay for my time, I'm not doing a one-on-one with pretty much with anyone. Yeah, my clients pay for my time. Sam, there's no need at all Windows 11 to connect to a server. Well, okay, still not getting to my point with that brief sentence. I think we probably have to have a conversation with you coming into Zoom, Sam. Your phrases here and there aren't really covering the topic sufficient for me. Blackwatch Google Eyes once passed under the bridge cannot be recovered, so let it be. Carrie says, thanks, Doug. Audit mode, great tip. And yeah, I haven't done this before, so it's really thanks Alex. He's the one that brought this up, and that came out when we were doing our recent live streams regarding the sysprep operations that we were experimenting with. Okay, now back to this computer. Punch this button, and we're in sysprep. Sysprep, so Alex, I'm just going to cancel out of this window, right?
Correct.
Enter system out-of-box experience. I'm just looking around. Oh, so here I can enter system audit mode or enter system out-of-box experience for the system cleanup action, and then options to reboot. So look, oh, and I can do generalize. Generalize is to reset the operating system so it doesn't have drivers that you've already...
Your name or the computer name or any of the identifying information, like for your Wi-Fi networks or anything like that. It would...
Computer name, usernames, Wi-Fi network, and what about drivers? So like if you take that image and you created that image on a computer that had specific drivers loaded, does this generalize remove those specific drivers?
Yes.
Yes, it
But
does.
But when I use it, I just would do it on a fresh install, like on a virtual machine, and would not install the drivers at all.
Okay, so what if you take a computer that let's suppose, for instance, my streaming computer, and it has a lot of different software on it. Could I take an image of that and do sysprep and do generalize and then restore that image to different hardware? In your opinion, maybe you've tested that, maybe
Yes.
you haven't. You think I could?
Yes, I think you could.
So like if I were to get a new computer for my streaming purposes,
Because the worst that can
I could
happen,
try
if the
that.
drivers stay after you generalize it, the worst that can happen is you have to go in there and uninstall all the drivers. But the drivers, if you keep them on there, they
Yeah.
won't affect nothing. They just won't work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that might be an experiment that I'll have an opportunity to go through. Let's continue with this. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of this sysprep tool and then see if I can create a user account. So I'm doing, well, my old Windows 10 habit, Windows key, and then users. And down here is add, edit, remove users. Add someone else to this PC. Okay, this gets to local user groups. This snap-in may not be used with this edition of Windows 10. To manage user accounts for this computer, use the User Accounts tool in Control Panel. Well, that's...
You have to go through the normal process of the settings app.
Yeah, I'll do that, but it's curious that clicking the plus button here, Windows 11 is opening this user groups snap-in, I'm forgetting the term, that can be used with Windows 11. That's just weird. Okay, so now I'm going to try Windows key R, Control Panel, and that gets us to the Control Panel. I'm going to change the view to small icons. Can you guys see that okay through the video? That looks like a really bright, from what I'm seeing on the streaming, on my streaming computer. Is that visible okay?
Can you make it large icons?
Okay, let's try that. That's a little bit better, but it's really kind of washed out. What happens if I maximize it? Is it not so bad? I'm gonna bring that up on on my computer number 3 and see what it looks like. I guess that's okay. It's not like we're going to be here for a long time. So anyway, I'll come down to User Accounts in the Control Panel. Click on that. Administrator, Local Account Administrator. Okay, once we actually do set up a user account, the local administrator account is typically deactivated. Make changes in my account, manage another account, change. So it looks like manage another account is the only choice I can make here. That looks like it'll get me. Here it is, add a new user in PC settings. I think this is yet going to take me to another screen. This takes me back here, and we're in a loop. I don't think I can create a user here, Alex.
Yeah, you're in Windows 11 now.
Yeah, I didn't think audit mode should let us do this.
What about opening the run box and typing in control space user passwords 2?
Okay, control Windows key R, and then dictate that again.
Control space user passwords and the number 2, and that's all one word. User passwords 2 is all one word.
Okay, so no space after the 2. Control user passwords. There was just 2 spaces in all of that. Not seeing anything come up. I'm going to demonstrate on my computer number 2 what that was expected to do. Windows key R, control users passwords. Was it passwords multiple?
No, it's control space user passwords number 2.
Okay, user is singular, password is plural, and the number 2.
Yes.
All right. I've got a notion in my mind what I'm expecting to see come up, and I don't see it. Do you have the syntax right?
Let me
Try it on your computer.
check it here.
I'm going to catch up with chat while you do that. Let's see. There's chit-chat back and forth going on. Correct hellos. Responded to the email I got. Sam, sure I can join the Zoom. Sending an email now. Oh, Sam's asking for the credentials, I guess. Let me go take care of that. There he is. Yeah, so when you get these credentials, people...
Yes, I have the syntax right.
Okay, hang on a second. Once you have the credentials, they don't change until we run into a problem with someone. So once you have the credentials, it's helpful if you would keep them accessible to you. So here I'm gonna take that email that I've already sent, that I sent to Catherine earlier and forward that to Sam. And forward and paste Sam in there. And I suppose when I do this, I ought to be deleting the prior people's email addresses. I don't think you'd be terribly upset that someone else that's a regular would get your email address, but that wasn't part of the intention, so I'll try to be more responsible to that. So I have sent that to you, Sam. Then back to catching up with chat. Responding to emails, staying on Windows 10 for the time being. Ida, Windows 10, Catherine, no, this is Windows 11. Need to install Windows on my laptop. I was wondering if I should upgrade to Windows 11 or stay with Windows 10. My laptop is not supported with Windows 11. My opinion, you should stay with Windows 10. If you even ask the question, I would say stay with Windows 10. That's because you obviously don't have a reason to go to Windows 11. Otherwise, you would already know the answer to the question. Install Intel DSA. Catherine, you're in the chat. Can you explain what you mean there?
What? Where?
You put in a message in chat to install Intel DSA.
The Intel driver support assistant.
Oh, meaning for this computer?
Yes.
Oh, but not yet. We're not ready for that yet, right?
No, I mean, you can install it at any
Okay.
point. Yes.
I'm not inclined to do that on a manufactured computer because when I do the driver updates from Dell, I see Intel drivers being updated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dell
I think it's
handles that.
different.
You shouldn't have to do
It's
that.
different if you build a PC yourself or
Right.
if you have an OEM system like an HP or a Dell. Sure.
Yeah, HP or Dell, they'll handle the Intel drivers.
Yeah.
It's a brand new computer. Sorry, Doug.
Yeah, it's a brand new computer. Yes, I know it had. Now, if you did a fresh install, well, no, when I do a fresh install on Dell or HP, I'll do the Windows updates and then I'll go to Dell or HP and use their update installer, which I trust that completely for Intel. Let's see. Yes, I know, but it has user account Windows 10. I'm not sure what Ida is responding. Well, there's conversation going on between Ida and Catherine, so I'm not going to try to comprehend that. Stay on Windows 10. Yes, it is as if you follow instructions in the video I sent you. That's in conversation between them. Can be put in airplane mode or Wi-Fi disabled at this point. If you have a laptop that gives you that capability, you'd have to have a button or a switch to disable Wi-Fi or to put it in airplane mode. This laptop does not have that, so we have to use some other method. Keep anything important, airplane. She's doing a typo correction. I think so. That's their conversation. Join later if you're still going after the workout. Oh, so I guess Sam's here now, right? What flight are you on?
Do you hear me correctly?
I'll come to you in a moment, Sam. Well, if it stays that way, then you can do the install with a local user account. That's a conversation between them. I always do the Intel driver assistant. Yeah. Okay, coming back over to the Zoom. So Sam is here now. Sam, you were trying to make a point in chat that about Windows 11 Pro and a server, and do you want to make your statement?
Oh yeah, I heard Gary say that you need to connect to a server before making a user, but I never seen that before. That's
And then
just,
Windows
I
11?
just about it for that for
Okay,
make a user account.
I'm having a hard time understanding you, Sam. Be a microphone or speaking issue. I'm not sure which. So let me phrase the question to you this way, Sam. Are you saying that Windows 11 Pro, if you started up without connecting to even a network, connect to the internet, yes, but not a server, not Active Directory, not Amazon's Active Directory, that there is a button to click on to create a local account?
Yes.
You are saying that. Okay, that's what I want to be clear about, because your separate little phrases just weren't doing it for me. So I'd like to get my hands on Windows 11 Pro and see that. But now I understood Gary to be saying, to be contradicting that. My understanding of what Gary was saying was that Windows 11 Pro, you would have to be connected to a network that has a domain server, maybe even have to connect to it,
Yes.
authenticate to it before you get the option of creating a local user account.
Correct.
That's what you're saying. So Gary and Sam, you guys agree that you have different experiences. You're saying you're taking a different position on this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which
Windows 11 Pro. Just make
Windows
sure I
11
said
Pro.
that.
Yeah, we're all looking at Windows 11 Pro. Okay, so that's clear that we have a difference of either difference of opinion or difference of experience. I'd like to see I'd like to be able to demonstrate the answer through a video someday. Ida says, is on the desktop now. Is on the desktop. Well, I have this computer on the desktop now, but it's in audit mode. It's not usable. It's where you can audit the Windows image and make changes to it, but there's no user account created. I wonder what happens if we connect to the internet now.
I maybe have a way for you to make an account. There's no GUI way of doing it, but you can do it maybe by the CMD, since you are the administrator.
Oh, go to the command
Yeah.
prompt and
Open
create an account from
CMD, I
there.
think in the command is like add user or something like that.
Okay, we'll try that. Let me catch these last few. Upgrade laptop is connected via Wi-Fi at the gym. I'm kind of skipping over these a little quick if I can recognize that they're not on point for what we're doing. And if you want to be sure I catch something you say, be sure to hit me up in orange. You see the orange on my screen, but when you put in the comment, use the @ symbol and type LI, you just click my name, the name of my channel. You won't see it in orange, but I will. Google eyes agree 100%. Hence my reasons I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't like it myself, but facts are facts. It's not a fact until you show it to us. It's only an opinion in your mind. There's enough out there to show and prove I have enough. You keep saying that over and over. Just send me the email and let's get it put together. I have a lot of good stuff to say about Carrie. I really do, but I'm honest, big difference. Anyway, and Carrie and myself, Carrie and I have difference of opinions on points. That doesn't mean we can't get along. We don't have to be rude about how we talk to each other. Anyway, I'm going online with friends and family, so I guess he's gonna bounce out for now. And RM saying hello. Oh, this is interesting. I got something else on screen. This just popped up. Default user 0. The username or password is incorrect and it just went black. Did I time out of the audit mode? Was I ignoring it too long?
I think so.
I get in trouble around here for ignoring things, people. Where do I want to go? Yeah, black screen. And so my capture device, of course, isn't working. So now let's try closing the lid and see if it'll automatically power on. Let's see, do I know what I've got going over the screen now? Yeah, I do. Okay, that automatically got, that was just a power timeout. Default user 0. The username or password is incorrect. Click OK and OK. Oh, this is interesting.
You may have to restart it and then just go back into audit mode, because I think that's also a feature on I think it also does the same thing on Windows 10. I think once it locks, you can't get back into.
All right, well, let me just click on administrator and see if I can get in. The account has been disabled. In default user, it wants a username and password, which I don't have. So yeah, I think it's time to restart. Let's move picture-in-picture out of the way and then restart. If you restart, you and any other people using could lose unsaved work. Ken, are you still here? Yeah.
He's still on there.
Ken, can you get your mouthpiece going and help keep everybody active while I try to find that USB Wi-Fi device?
Sure. I'll take over.
You got it. I'm going
You
on.
got it.
I'm
Boy,
on
did
mute.
he just make a mistake. Man, does he not realize what he's done. Catherine, what's going on in your neck of the woods? Good. Gary, what's happening over in Michigan? Darren? Hey, Sam, you're new to the channel.
Yes.
Where you at in the world?
Hey, Ken,
I'm in the
Hey,
Netherlands.
whoa, Gary, hang on now. He asked me.
Yep.
Go ahead, Gary.
And go
Yes.
do some dish so we can have a sing along. Let's rock on, brother.
You know what? It's funny you said that because I'm writing down some of these things, what Doug is saying, and you'll understand
Okay.
tonight. But go
Okay.
ahead. Okay, somebody else take over. I'm bored.
I'm putting 14 seconds of Led Zeppelin on.
Please. Oh yeah. What Black Watch? Well, how come you don't do this to Doug, but you do it to me?
All right, time's up. I
Let's take
found
the
it.
stairway to heaven.
Really?
Time's up.
You found it?
Mm,
Okay. I'm gonna distract you, so I'm gonna go in the other room. I'm gonna call you.
Yeah,
on
cover
your
that.
phone. On your phone.
Okay, there's an effective way for me to get in. I just muted the three of them. That's how I get. Take
Power of
the
Zoom is
control.
wonderful, isn't it?
I took the power back. Yes. So here on camera, well, what I've got, I said that I can disconnect the Wi-Fi. So the way you do that is you use a USB Wi-Fi device to connect to the Wi-Fi, not the built-in Wi-Fi. So then after you connect to the internet, you can just pull it out. If you don't have the option of disconnecting your Wi-Fi access point. But I do have that to demonstrate here too. So look at this. I've got a Unify Wi-Fi here. So we can connect to this Unify and it's separate from my Wi-Fi. So I have two Wi-Fi SSIDs here. And therefore I don't have to disconnect my Comcast router in order to disconnect Wi-Fi. So what my intention is to demonstrate multiple ways of doing this because it depends upon what resources somebody has at hand. Now this computer is back up. Oh, it automatically came back to the audit mode. I did a restart. It automatically came back into the audit mode. Alex, I'm surprised at that.
I'm surprised too.
Oh, okay. So let's cancel from here. So you guys were saying go to the command prompt. So I'm going to press Windows key, CMD, and then right click on command prompt and run as administrator, I assume. I would have to do that. So
I have the instructions up if you want
Okay,
me to
yes.
read them too.
yes, read it to me. I'm ready for a bedtime story.
Net space user. Can you make the command prompt window bigger?
Well, how about we make the font bigger? I'll come up here to the upper right corner, right click, choose.
Well,
let's
that's
see,
what I meant.
properties, and then go to the font tab, and then go to 36-point font. And so that's easier for you to see. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, continue.
/add /add.
So space / add.
Yes.
Okay, next.
Whatever username you want to make it, and then whatever password. Space, whatever password.
Oh, all right, all right. This is Sheldon's computer, and he's been on some of my videos, and he's authorized me to use his name, so we're good with that. Space, and then a password. So I'm going to do, let's see, write it down. That'll do it. So testing 21. Obviously, this is not going to be the password that stays on this computer. So ready to press enter now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. The command completed successfully.
Okay, and there's okay, and then after that, you type in. You have to add that user you just made to be an administrator. So you have to type in net space local group.
Is local group one word or two?
One word.
Local group space. Then what?
Administrators.
Okay.
Space the username.
Okay.
Is showing on the instructions here that the username is in the square brackets, but not the squiggly ones, just the plain square.
So you're seeing the word username between square brackets, right?
Yes.
Well, normally that indicates what you're supposed to type there, but you're not supposed to include the square brackets.
I didn't know if that meant that you were supposed to include the square brackets in this instance, or it was just.
I doubt it. Let's try it without.
And then space slash.
I don't think you need it.
What was that last comment, somebody? Okay.
Alex, what was the last part?
Okay, so the username space slash then what?
Add. ADD.
Sam said he didn't think you need it.
What?
Oh, okay. Doesn't need Sam said we don't need the square brackets. That's what he.
I thought that was who it was. It might have been someone else, but that's what was said.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll mute myself now.
Yeah. Okay, Alex, how we doing? We got / add. That sounds like it's probably the end of it.
And then you should hit enter.
All right. Command completed successfully.
And if these instructions are correct, that says that's all you have to do.
Okay.
You have to close the command prompt.
All right.
Open that sysprep window back up. Select out of box experience and then reboot.
How do I open up that sysprep window? I closed it previously.
You have to open it up through the C drive. Open your Explorer and go to C. Go to your local disk C.
Yeah, but you just created the user, right? So I think you can just reboot.
Hey, Jeff.
System 32. And then the sysprep folder. And you should be able to run it. There should be a program in there. You should be able to run it through there and then reboot.
System 32, sysprep. Oops. Sysprep, and then launch sysprep right here.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So then
where it says it should say enter out of box experience, and then make sure reboot is selected, and then hit OK.
Okay, I do not need to do generalize. I actually don't want to do that because that would remove the user, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it says reboot. I'll click OK. So what we're expecting now, I'm deducing, is that we should still go through the out-of-box experience, but we'll have the opportunity to log in as the existing username. Well, we'll find out.
Maybe I'm not. I got to be honest. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen.
All right. Yeah, this sounds like it was an off-the-cuff experiment, which is fine.
No comment. I'm muted.
I heard somebody say they're muted. That was Gary's voice. No,
Well, at
he's
least
not.
we know adding a user to the command prompt in audit mode in Windows 11 Home works.
Yeah, that's something. Now I'm not sure. I don't think this is easier
But
than
the average
disconnecting.
user ain't gonna know.
Okay, you need to let me finish my sentence before you start talking, please. I'm not sure this is any quicker or easier than disconnecting the internet if you have that option. If you don't have that option, then maybe this would be worthwhile.
Welcome to the club, Gary.
I'm muted, I can't talk.
But you're not. We heard you.
I'm muted, I can't talk.
Sure you can. All right, so with right country region, we'll click click yes. US keyboard, yes. The next one will be to skip the second keyboard. And then here wants to connect to the internet. So here we're going to connect to the internet. And I'm going to use this SJVP. That's the Ubiquity Unify device that I have sitting next to me. But now, Alex, I since we created that user account, I shouldn't have to disconnect the internet, right? That's kind of the theory we're going on here, that this is a way to deal with getting a local user account without having to disconnect the internet. So I'll do this connection.
And plus, you do not want to create or use, well, I can't think of the word now. Tell me, please, the 365 user account.
Yeah, Microsoft account.
Thank you.
Yeah, that word Microsoft is hard for us to remember.
Yes.
Okay, so I am connected to that. Oh, gee, I don't even have a password on that. Didn't realize that, but click next. Checking for updates. So I'll do this checking for updates, and then we'll get on to the user account.
Let me ask you a question, Doug.
Yeah.
If you had a Microsoft account,
Yeah.
I've read that you can just go ahead and set it up with that. And then after you're done, make a local account and then get rid of your Microsoft account on that computer.
Yes, and I have made a video showing exactly that full experience.
Is that any harder than what you just went through?
Yes, it is. Well, yeah, because
Okay.
there's quite a few things that you have to undo.
Okay.
But clearly the easiest way is some method of disconnecting the internet after getting past that one screen, and that there's lots of options. In my mind at this point, the only way you're not going to be able to accomplish it is if you don't have access to a USB Wi-Fi or a USB Ethernet, and you don't have a way to turn on airplane mode after that screen, or you don't have a way of disabling the built-in Wi-Fi after that, or you don't have a way of disconnecting your Wi-Fi access point. So there's a whole lot of unable to do's that you have to have before you can't use that method of just disconnecting internet.
How's it doing with the downloads?
We've got a welcome screen. It's back to showing on the video. It did, I think it did the checking for updates, and I think it downloaded updates, and I think this is the restart after getting those updates. And it never did take us to a user screen. And
Yeah, I was wondering that. It never did ask you for a spread of user.
Maybe it won't, since it recognizes that there is a valid user account. So here I'm going to click on the accept button for the license. Enter your name. Who's going to use this? Oh, look at this. This is creating a local user account.
Yeah, good.
Even though it already exists. I was expecting to have to log into that existing account. This lets me create a new account.
I think that the fault that we made is started the sysprep program again. So that triggered the OB process instead of just rebooting the computer because we already have an account.
We already have an account, so I'm still having a hard time. It seems like you're really close to the microphone and talking real soft. I'm having a hard time understanding your words.
So we made an account through the CMD. Right?
Hidden accounts. Okay.
And then we started the sysprep program again.
Yeah.
Which triggers the OB.
Triggers the OB, the out-of-box experience.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't think that was needed.
I expected the out-of-box experience to come again, but it has not even asked us to create a Microsoft account.
Really?
That surprised me. I was expecting that we would perhaps get to a point of asking us to create a Microsoft account or log in with the user account that already exists, or maybe offering us a password prompt for logging in with the user account that already exists.
But you never did disconnect the internet, right?
No, I never disconnected the internet. We're still connected. So this is asking who's going to use this device, and this is the prompt that is normally used for a local user account. So I'm going to try a different name here. Use my name.
You could say Sheldon local.
I could.
No.
I could also use Catherine Anna Hauserman.
Oh, that's he doesn't even know who I am, or does he?
Oh, I'm going to do a full reset before this goes to him.
Oh.
His old computer uses a Microsoft account, so I'm probably going to go ahead and set this up with his Microsoft account when I'm ready to get to it. I'm taking a diversion here with his computer to experiment with this. So I'll probably just use the reset option that would have come with this computer to restore it to factory settings, and then set it up the normal, boring Microsoft account way. So here I'm using Doug, and it's asking for a password. I'm going to use that same password. That way I don't have to write it down again, and I'm going to display it to you because that's not a password I use anywhere, obviously. And click next. Confirm password. Okay. So same password. Display it again to be sure I typed it right. Yep. And click next.
I'm curious, once we get to the desktop, what's going to happen if you go back into the add someone else to this PC settings inside of a settings app, if it's going to come up with that same local user can't be used on this because it's not Windows 10 Pro, or it's going to actually let you add.
Okay. Well, once a computer is started up and you have a local administrator account, I have done added additional users under Windows 10 that were all local users. So are you asking if Windows 11 will let us do that?
Yes.
But before, when we went into the audit mode, it said that.
Oh, that's right.
That
Okay.
error that said that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Used because it was Windows 10 Home and not Pro.
Well, it wasn't saying Windows 10 Home or Pro. We said to add a user, and it came up with that screen that says you can't do this here, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but I didn't think that had to do with Pro versus Home. I thought that had to do with. I don't remember what it had to do with. Let's move forward.
Always stupid anyway.
I understand your question. Okay, so security question 1 of 3. What was your pet's name? Answer A.
Hey, Doug, what's your dog's name?
A. You want to know my last 4 digits of my social security number? A.
Exactly. I think
Second
that's the
question,
silliest thing they ask.
name your city. A. Have you heard Jay Leno asking people on the street for all the questions that are in their security questions?
No,
he
but
did a thing on that. Okay, then childhood nickname was A. Once you use your
Once
feeds.
Microsoft, maybe once Windows 11 has been out for a year or two, Microsoft will get so many people complaining when they go buy a computer and they realize, ooh, they don't have internet and they need internet to set it up, that they'll make a change. They'll make it back the way I believe it should be, where you can set up a user account easier without having to go through all this.
Well, if you don't have internet to connect to, there's no issue, is there? I mean, won't it let you set up a local account at some point?
You can. It won't let you do that unless you use the method that we just used. Now, but we didn't try doing this method without internet connected. That's it. That's an interesting alternative try.
I mean, when you get to the spot where it says connect to the internet and there's no internet, and you let it try anyway, I read it will return and just let you
No, it won't.
Make a local account after the timeout.
When you say let it try, there's a button in the bottom right that you have to click on. I think it's called Next. It's not clickable. You can't click on it. There is nothing you can click on that screen to get it to
so you gotta let it connect and then disconnect it.
Yeah, you gotta let it connect to the internet, and then after you click that next button, you can disconnect it. Now, one of the things that I wanted to experiment with today, and I'm not sure we're gonna get to it, is I wanted to see, do you have to do it? It starts checking for updates. I know that you can do it quickly because I've done that. But how long can you wait? I know that if you get to the point where it's got a field for you to enter your Microsoft account, if you wait that long, it's too late. If you disconnect it then, no cigar, it's not going to work. So you got to disconnect it at some point between clicking the next button and before it asks for your user account. Coming back.
Well, one of the things, depending where you live, like here in my neighborhood in Las Vegas, Cox has a Wi-Fi that you can sometimes see from your house, even if you don't have internet. It's just called Cox Wi-Fi. That's one of the things they do here.
Okay.
If you had a strong enough signal that your computer might see that, even if you don't have internet you pay for, you might be able to do something like that. Obviously, if you live in a rural area where there's nothing.
Yes, okay, so they're providing a free public internet Wi-Fi.
Right,
service.
the signal usually isn't that great, but it's there.
Right, but that's another option for somebody who buys a Windows 11 computer. They don't have internet service. They could go to someone else's home. They could go to a coffee shop. They could go to a library.
Exactly.
Any place that has public Wi-Fi. In my town, you could go to downtown Fresno, and there's a public Wi-Fi.
But the idea that you'll have to do any of this stuff we're mentioning just to set up a computer is just, in my opinion, completely ridiculous.
Well, let me ask you, these days, for most folks, if you don't have internet, do you need a computer?
Yeah, and if you don't have internet, why get a Windows 11 computer? Why not get a used Windows 10 computer? Why not? Yeah, why do you want a Windows 11 computer if you don't connect to the internet? That doesn't make sense.
And right now, Microsoft is really, really pushing Microsoft account with like Windows 365.
Oh, look at that. You called it Windows 365.
There is a Windows 365.
They do have a Windows 365 that you can
Thank you, Microsoft.
Connect to over the internet.
Yeah. Actually, no, there is
desktop type of thing.
Actually, there is no Windows 365. They canceled it.
Oh, they did?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that was going to be the cloud-based.
Was that
hey, Doug?
Was that going to be?
You're not coming through. Seriously.
Are you not hearing me?
No, now I am.
Yeah, now I am.
You are now. You weren't hearing me for a bit?
Yeah, no.
I have no idea what that was about, except that two of you were talking at the same time, and I think Zoom has a limit. Okay, so...
Windows. I just hit myself for you.
I didn't understand that, Gary.
It was a bad comment. Not dirty, just...
Okay, skip it. Moving on. Let me go check in with chat because it's been a long time. Let's see. Here's my last highlighted comment. Parker Morse retracted something. Kind of scanning through here. Facebook, I'm in, hellos, see me, had an unexpected result after that command, go figure, unexpected result. I'm not sure what that was, password equals Doug, this is all Blackwatch, I don't know what he's on about there, not going to try to figure it out, almost 2 hours of stream missed, 2 hours, we've been 2 hours already, oh yeah, almost 2 hours. Immigrate to Fresno, late again. Let's see. Jim here. Hi, Kenny. Carrie last week says NVMe works better when it's hot. And I told him this last year and he threw me out of chat for saying that. There's been tons of stuff. It's just, oh, that's back to Google Eyes. All right. So this is the only thing of substance Google Eyes has given me to look at. Carrie last week said NVMe works better when it's hot, and I told him this last year, and he threw me out of chat for saying that. Okay, so I guess he's saying Google Eyes claims that he said that a year earlier. There's been tons of stuff. Lulls. I thought he ducked out a while ago, but anyway, I'm sorry, it was someone else. Come in and do a Zoom session with me and do a live stream. Let's have a conversation. These hit and runs are just not cutting it. Greg Guy, hello Doug in chat from St. Mary's. Hello to you too, Greg. About time your ship docked. Okay, good enough. So coming back to this computer. Skip for now for face sign in. Privacy settings, I'm not going to bother changing those because I'm going to be winding up resetting this computer anyway. Support and protection, I'm going to click next without filling in any of that. My information is correct. Don't use it to register McAfee. Maybe that prevents me from getting a pop-up for McAfee. And hi, we're getting in. So we used the audit mode and a DOS administrator level command prompt to create a local user account and elevated that to an administrator account. And then when the computer restarted, we were able to create yet another local user account. And I'm going to presume that that's going to be an administrator member. So this would be a way to do it if you're unable to disconnect your internet connection after having after that next button. Now you don't actually do the next button. You stay at that screen where it's asking you to choose an internet connection, and at that screen use the command to get to the audit mode. Alex, can you tell me that command again?
Control Shift F3.
Control.
But on some computers, you have to do Control Shift Function F3, like on that model you've got.
Yeah.
It all depends on your keyboard layout.
Understood. And how the function keys default to, whether they default to FN mode or not. So here we are booted in, I'm going to give you guys an elevator ride. We are booted, Windows 11 home, got the username of Doug. Am I an administrator? Let's go to, oh geez, there's just so many ways now to get to users. Windows key.
Settings and the users, add someone else to this.
Okay, here, okay, so here I've got Sheldon is showing as an administrator. That's the one that I created from the DOS prompt. If I can, see, I can go change Sheldon's account type. That's enough to say that I am an administrator. So yeah, that worked.
What happens if you click on that, add someone else? Does it come up with that same error, or does it actually let you do it?
Right, here, add someone else. Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to let me do it. Now, interesting, the notification area says that I'm not connected to the internet based on this wireframe globe. So instead of connecting, I'm going to try opening Edge to prove that I'm not connected. Alex, instead of doing a factory restore, I could use sysprep to reset back to the original out-of-box experience and wipe out the existing user accounts, right?
Right. As long as you click on generalize.
Yeah, generalize. That would be quicker than using the manufacturer's restore to factory settings.
Because there's nothing on that computer to begin with anyway.
Right, right. So here, complete setup, focused and confirm, and continue without signing in. And yeah, you're not connected. So we're not connected to the internet. We got local accounts. I don't need to go any further. I don't need to connect. I'm ready to go do sysprep. There's nothing else we wanted to experiment with here, right?
Not that I know
Yeah.
of.
Okay, so to go sysprep, I'm going to try Windows key and just type sysprep. Shouldn't it just find that with search? No, it was called sysprep in the
No, it's
executable.
hidden in the search.
Say again?
It's hidden in the search. You need to go to the files to see that.
Have to go to File Explorer. Okay. All right. So C drive, Windows, System 32. And then sysprep. And sysprep.
There's an option to keep all your installed drivers and stuff.
In sysprep?
According to the page I found.
Is that regarding sysprep?
Yeah, sysprep says prevent sysprep from removing installed devices.
Would that just be by not check marking generalize?
No. Well, let me see. This, they're talking about using an unattended file with a particular command.
Yeah. Alex and I are aware of that. I don't see a need for us to do that in this instance.
When you generalize it, doesn't that remove anything specific to a particular computer?
Yeah, I would expect it's going to remove.
Yes, it'll remove your user accounts and like your Wi-Fi connections and all that, but it shouldn't remove the factory default drivers.
Alex, what's up? I was in the middle of a sentence and you just started talking. Do you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
No, I didn't hear you.
You didn't hear me? Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, very frustrating. All right, as long as I know you weren't trying to do it. Yeah. All right, great, thank you. Let's go catch up with chat. Wife's laptop finally arrived today. Can't wait to have all sorts of fun doing the transfer from her old one. That was from Jim. And Chris, I missed the first part. Do not know what's going on. I guess I'm confused. Let's see. I don't see any other orange there, and I don't know if any of those others are relevant. So I'll go, Catherine. Maybe you need to talk faster. Oh, was that how I was too slow for he was bored? Okay. Then here we got generalize. We'll do reboot, enter out of box experience, click OK. So I'm expecting this is going to take us back to the original. Here's processing cleanup phase, says prep plugins, processing generalized phase, says prep plugins.
Hey, Doug,
Yes.
other than, I'll say it right, Microsoft 365, and what is the advantage to not having, having a local account?
So I'm distracted with me accidentally moving the screen around. I'm sorry, say that again.
What is the advantage to having a local account
Um,
for Home Pro?
for Home or Pro?
No, Home Pro, or I
Home
said
Pro. There's no such
For
thing
home.
as
Yeah, I know, for Home.
for home. Why would you want to do a local account instead of having a Microsoft account?
Correct.
I think it's the biggest customers of that. The people who are most going to want to do that is the ones that are just really worried about privacy. They don't want a Microsoft account. They don't want Microsoft tracking them. They want to take every opportunity they can to reduce and fight against that kind of thing. What do we got here? I got to show something.
My mom and dad are like that with Google, but yeah, my dad has a
Yeah.
Chromebook, and all three of our phones are Samsung, Google, Android phones.
Yeah. I think the implication there, Gary, is Microsoft's accounts not that big a deal to shy
I mean,
away from.
Like you said, most of your clients have them, so they're in business and don't seem to care.
No, actually, no. Most of my clients don't. I have some of my clients that have Microsoft accounts, but and most of them. I actually shouldn't say most of them. I have. Why am I still on that screen? I have business clients where their staff members don't have their own email addresses. You can't have a Microsoft account without an email address. We certainly don't want them using their personal email address to sign into a business computer. That's mixing up their personal life and their work life. So
I understand.
if they have some of my clients, the staff have their own business email address that has a domain name for the company, and we have Microsoft Office licenses for them to have the Microsoft Office software. In that environment, I don't think I have any objection to the computer logging in with a Microsoft account.
Correct, or at least I understand.
Yeah.
This is
But then
maybe
you
a
have-
dumb, excuse me, Gary.
I was just gonna say, then you do have some clients that do not want to use the Microsoft account.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Okay.
clearly.
I misunderstood you then when you said that a while back.
All right.
Silly
Yeah.
question, because I've never tried this. If you have a Microsoft account and your internet goes out, can you still start up your computer and log in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it caches the information someplace, lets you do that.
Yeah.
No, the internet is only required for the setup of the account.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
You
but
still use,
once
you
it's
still
set up,
use-
then you can log in even if your internet goes down.
and you still use
Sure.
Office.
Okay.
Okay. Screen went black again while I was waiting at that screen that I was trying to introduce. Let's see, is it just...
Is it a-
it's not waking up, so I'm going to hit the power button. It was on a blue screen that it needed to do a recovery. Ran into a problem, it needed to do a
It
Windows
said
recovery.
PC device. It said PC device.
Here we go. We got it here. So, recovery. Your PC device needs to be repaired. The application or operating system couldn't be loaded because a required file is missing or contains errors. File, Windows, System 32, WinLoad EFI, error code 0xC, and then 6 zeros F. You'll need to use recovery tools. If you don't have any installation media like a disk or USB device, contact PC administrator, PC manufacturer. Enter to try it again. F1 to do recovery environment, F8 for startup settings, escape for UEFI firmware. So I'm voting for F1 to go recovery environment. F1.
That's not good.
Say again?
I said, that's not good.
No,
That message.
it certainly wasn't. It wasn't an endorsement for that method with the sysprep approach.
What are you getting? What's the code you're getting? 98?
Now I'm getting a 98. That prior one wasn't a 98. Now I've got your PC device needs to be repaired. Boot configuration data file doesn't contain valid information for an operating system. File /BCD error code 0xC5098. You'll need to use recovery tools if you don't have installation media, yada yada. Press F1 for recovery environment, going there.
98.
I'm looking at the chat room on here. We got this same message back. No change. Escape. So it was F1 for recovery environment, escape for UEFI firmware settings. Firmware settings not going to help me at all. And F1 is doing nothing for us. But because Windows has like you trigger a safe mode if it fails 3 times in a row, maybe there's something that's going to happen with continuing through this. Chris says I'm getting a refurbished Dell Latitude. Rick Late says blue screened. This is the same message. Trying F1 again. Not sure what the situation is other parts of the world out here, but Ontario, we have 1,000+ new COVID cases. Catherine says it is a power setting most likely. Chris, that looks familiar to what I had on my HP desktop. Catherine asking everyone to like the video. And thank you again for that, Catherine. So here we got that again. So then the next thing would be to force power off and see if that gets me into some other recovery. At this point, if I get offered restore to manufacturer settings, I'll jump on that. Same thing. All right. Forcing power off. I'm going to hold it down for 10 seconds. Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't automatically recover. That is certainly a reason to not recommend this method to anybody, because that's certainly... Well, now, wait a minute. Is that fair?
Well, now I feel bad because I've used sysprep a whole bunch of times and that's never happened before.
Oh, that's fine. And then don't stress about that. I can recover from this even if I have to do a fresh install.
I know you can, but somebody else.
No biggie, but somebody else would. But the place we ran into a problem was not using this technique for using the command prompt to create a user account and restart. That worked. We got into the Windows 11 desktop just fine. The place we ran into a problem is when we tried to use sysprep to get back to the original UBI experience, out-of-box experience, to try it a different way, because I wanted to try a different method of disconnecting the internet. So that method of creating a local Windows user account, Windows 11 Home, yeah, I think that's still valid, but it would only be called for if you are unable to disconnect your internet connection after clicking past that one page that requires it. So here we go, turning the power on, see what we get.
You do have a valid point, because when I was using sysprep, I was using sysprep to make a file to put on Active Directory server so that our other machines can boot off the network and use that image file to image.
All right. So here we've got, this is I think back to the first message we had, maybe file Windows System 32 winload.efi and the error code ending with an F. That sounds like it's the same one. And then it had that F1 to enter recovery environment.
What was the code, Doug?
Yeah, the code is error code 0xC followed by 6 zeros F. You're looking it up, I suppose?
And
Yep.
that you got a corrupted UEFI partition so that it cannot access the boot files.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Maybe I do need to go in UEFI firmware settings. Could it be that... Could something we did have changed a BIOS setting?
Well, it's saying the boot record is not there, basically.
It sounds like the install got corrupted, so I would just reinstall Windows 11 from a flash drive.
Yeah.
It changed something on the EFI partition on the SSD.
Understand, and Doug, I like Windows 11, but make sure everybody should know this is not Windows 10. This is Windows 11 Home, for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff that works in Windows 10 may not work here with enough added security.
Oh yeah, the behind the scenes tinkering, technical tricks and stuff that worked with Windows 10 may not work with Windows 11. Sure, absolutely. Not a safe bet at all. Now, again, the thing that we were trying to do by using that command prompt to create the user account, that did work. This problem here was only because the method I chose to try to return to factory settings. That's what failed. I'm gonna go escape for UEFI firmware settings and see what we find in there. Let's see, when we got to the Windows desktop, I did not connect to the internet. So it did not start downloading any kind of updates, but even if it did that, it wasn't installing a BIOS update.
Actually, it can now. You probably know that, but
What are you saying?
Windows 11 definitely will install BIOS updates.
Without being connected to the internet?
Well, obviously that's to be connected to the internet, but yes.
Yeah, I know it'll install, in particular, Windows 10 even, Dell and HP computers will automatically install BIOS updates just through Windows Update.
Right, especially when you're not ready for
them. So here we have RAID on. Look at that. Can I get that? Do you have that? No, we don't have HDMI capture capability here, but these three radio buttons, SATA, NVMe operation, disabled, or AHCI NVMe, or RAID on, and it's selected RAID on.
Interesting.
I'm not saying RAID on as in the radioactive thing, but RAID space ON, it's turned on. Storage devices configured to support RAID functions with VMD controller. When enabled, all NVMe and SATA devices would be mapped under VMD controller. Windows RST Rapid Storage Technology driver or Linux kernel VMD driver must be loaded in order to boot the OS. Wait a minute, must be loaded in order to boot the OS. So if that's not working, we might be having trouble. Now, the comment that somebody made earlier, I think maybe Catherine, about that this computer might have an SSD and an NVMe.
No, I didn't make that.
That wasn't you?
Doug, it was me.
It was Gary. Okay. That might be utilizing a RAID function in order to get those two medias to function as one device.
I would think that would be very unlikely in the modern days to make a system with RAID
I wish
on
they
a boot
would.
drive.
Yeah, but it's selected here. I'm tempted to try the HCI setting and see if it'll boot.
Probably not. The RAID setting was on all of our school Dell computers by default. And when I tried to change it to AHCI mode, it errored out and wouldn't boot until I changed it back to RAID mode.
Why would they have RAID set up when you?
It's just the way Dell does it. They have it set up like that from the factory.
Well,
Anything we're not doing that way.
I think they have the answer to that here in this paragraph. When enabled, which it is enabled, all NVMe and SATA devices would be mapped under VMD controller. So that makes me think that any NVMe devices and SATA devices are mapped or redirected or aliased to something called VMD controller, and then Windows would be using some kind of VMD driver in order to access the devices. Now that's just off the top of my head the way this is written. I don't have any prior knowledge about this. Windows RST Rapid Storage Technology Driver or Linux kernel driver must be loaded in order to boot the OS. So that would make me think that Windows 11 would, in Device Manager, we would see a Windows RST driver once it's up and functional. But I've played with these enough to know that we can switch back and get it back to an operational status, even if we're doing a disk clean and then rebuilding. SATA NVMe operation status change warning: this setting may prevent your operating system from booting or require a reinstall. Well, we're already at that stage, so I just answered yes to that. Gonna save and exit. Oh, bottom right corner, there's an exit button down there. And ask if I want to save changes. Answer yes.
My prediction is now you won't even get the blue screen like you did before. It'll just say device not found or something.
I'm not going to bet against that. Okay, same error message. The winload.efi with error code ending with the letter F. Device needs to be repaired. F1 recovery environment.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
Nothing.
All right, so looking back at chat, not bringing it up on screen because I'm going to keep the camera on the computer. And Chris said Dell will turn RAID on when 2 drives are shipped from the factory. So here we got this. We got the second error, the file BCD with an error code ending 98. So same pattern. Going back to escape for UEFI firmware settings. And then Chris says, I doubt it will boot. And then Catherine says, not working anymore. And Matthew says, you might have to create Windows 11 installation media, have it repair that file. So here we're back. Go to storage. Oh, you know what? As we were starting here, down here at the bottom left, we got load defaults. Manufacturer defaults, that sounds like a good thing to have. So when I do that, my choices are BIOS defaults, last known good, or factory defaults. I'm going to choose factory defaults. And if that goes back to RAID on, then I'm going to say, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Load all system defaults. Current settings will be lost. Clicking OK. In order for changes to take effect, your system will be restarted. Click OK. So I didn't get to actually see that change appear on the screen. Chris Garrett's asking if that's Windows 10 or 11. It is Windows 11 Home. And got the same message, the error code ending with an F. And then go into UEFI. Oh, here I got an F8 for startup settings. I don't remember that before. That might have a factory restore. But this time I'm going to go into UEFI firmware settings and see what that storage type is set for. Here we're in the UEFI settings, go to storage. Oh, it's on AHCI. It did not go back to RAID. You have to
Guess
wonder.
that restart triggered the rate on.
Say again?
Guess that reset that you did before the reboot that triggered the rate on setting in some way.
Sorry, Sam. I'm really still having a hard time understanding what you're saying.
Since you did the reset after the sysprep, that might be have changed the BIOS setting.
Okay, yeah, well, that's exactly what I was wondering, is something that we had done either during the setup of Windows 11 or during our sysprep, if it changed a BIOS settings. That's what I was going after. So when I first came into this BIOS settings, it showed RAID on. When I manually changed it to a AHCI, and then the next thing I tried was load defaults. And I don't know if that load defaults actually changed the storage operating type, because it didn't move anything. It didn't change anything. Now, if I go back to RAID on and restart, and then do a load defaults, factory defaults, if it changes to AHCI, then that tells me, yes, factory defaults is AHCI. If I see it actively make that change from something else. So there I've set it to RAID on, restart expecting that same error message. Now I also have to wonder if once I get it on the setting that it's supposed to be on, am I going to have to let it go through a repair before we've recovered from all the trauma that it has experienced? So here we have the error message that ends in an F. Go back into escape for firmware settings. And we should see it on the RAID setting that I manually configured. Then I'll do the reset to factory settings, and I want to know, does that actually change it to UEFI, or does it totally respect whatever I have told it to do? So here's RAID on. I'm going to go to load defaults and then factory defaults, and then OK. Current settings will be lost. Now we are way outside the parameters of what I wanted to do with this live stream video, which is what I wanted to do was to explore variations on disconnecting internet at that certain point in Windows 11. Uh-oh, here's
Your
this.
end the live stream timer is done.
Do you guys hear that?
Your end the live stream timer is done. Your end the live stream timer is done.
That's a reminder to end the live stream.
Your end the live stream timer is done.
Oh,
Alexa, stop. That's because I've got some other things I need to take care of today, and I didn't want to go excessively long. We're almost 2.5 hours. So here we got into here again, escape to go into UEFI settings. So what we want to know here is, did it make that change? That's a horrible focus. See if it'll focus on my hand. There we go. Click on storage. Yeah, so changing the defaults does not affect this screen at all. And by setting it to HCI, that did not recover the drive. So I'm going to say this computer came with RAID on, which is consistent with what Alex said was happening with their Dell computers. So next we'll go use that F8 option. See if that'll get me to restoring the factory image. And once I start that, restoring the factory image, I'm going to end this live stream because I've got things I have to go take care of. So here's F8 for startup settings. And it just flashed and came back to the same screen. So it's not going to startup settings at all. Really hosed. I think that's totally hosed. So next would be to get to, yeah, boot Windows 11 media to get to a repair or get to a command prompt and do stuff there, or to find an option there for factory restore. Factory restore would be the best thing. As so happens, I have a Windows 11 installation media over here, and this computer over here has finished with its Fabs Auto Backup. Where is that? Here it is. Okay, so I need to do a quick little piece here for that video that I started this morning. And I'm going to actually mute the entire Zoom session from the video. Now I can still hear you, so if you mess with me while I'm recording this, yeah, don't do that. Okay, so here, I'm going to bring up the screen. Oh, and then I've got the Zoom session there. That's going to be weird. All right, I'll do it this way. Oh no, here's what I'll do. I'll do this way. I can do this. That's because I can do this. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, here's what I'll do. I'll make this, get the right keyboard. Wrong drag. Try that again. There. That gets just me in the pip. All right. Okay, that Fabs Auto Backup has finished. It shows 11:24:56 is when it finished, so we'll call that 11:25. And it started at 9:58, is that right? Wow, that took a long time. 9:58, so 10 a.m. to 11:24, hour and a half to finish that backup. So then the next phase of that will be to restore that to Sheldon's new computer. I'll exit that and we're done there. So I'm going to slip that piece into the other video and hit the record button to stop that. Okay, so I just recorded a separate video with my record button that XSplit lets me record a video inside of a live stream. And then make this bigger again. Bring that back out there. And come back to... what I want to do now is this memory stick. Oh, I'll unmute you guys. Okay, Zoom session is unmuted from the video. Eject that. There it goes. Oh, this is going to be fun. This computer doesn't have a USB-A port, so I have to plug into this adapter that came with the computer.
So in essence, that computer is trying to be like the newer MacBooks where you've got to use a dongle to even plug in a normal USB.
Right, there are no USB-A ports on this computer. So here's my Windows 11. It's got a M.2 NVMe board inside this silver stone enclosure that Carrie had presented on this channel way back when. So power button now, what I need, I think it's F9 for Dell for boot device. I'm trying F9 and F12, tapping them.
Should be F12.
Okay, So it's doing diagnostics. It looks like whichever key press it recognized, it got it into diagnostics instead. Mouse or touchpad not active. Press escape to stop testing. This is not what I wanted. So which one did you say it would be, Alex?
Well,
F12 should be. All right.
Yeah,
Exit.
I believe F9 was for the HP computers.
Okay.
For the boot menu.
And apparently F9 on the Dell entered a diagnostics mode of some sort. Nope, this got me back into the same thing. Or no, it did. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, it just looks similar. I gotta show it to you, I guess. One-time boot settings, boot devices. Here's NVMe Hynix 512. I think that's the built-in NVMe. UEFI. I don't see anything in there indicating USB. So we might have safe boot turned on, which would prevent booting from USB. Device configuration. Oh, wow. Here's an old-looking BIOS screen. That's weird. Not really
secure boot should not prevent it if you're booting off of a Windows media. I thought it would only prevent it if you were like trying to boot off Linux or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I would want it to prevent booting off of a Windows media for it to be secure. TCG drive management, driver health, platform driver override selection, RAM disk configuration, TCG2 configuration, TLS auto off configuration. That's the security thing, isn't it? Server CA client cert configuration. Don't know. I'm not buying that. This is very different environment. Support assist OS recovery. That looks good. Analyze, repair restore your system. That might do it without this bootable USB device. The USB device is flashing right now. Support assist OS recovery. That sounds promising.
Yeah.
And Catherine's talking to her cats.
Sorry. Yes, I do. Because one of my cats just vomited the fur.
All right. So here we've got support assist OS recovery needs access to system information to help you troubleshoot your issue and improve for future support scenarios. For more information, click here to access privacy policy, the buttons to click on decline and shut down or approve. I'm going to click approve. Before we begin, may we show you a few things about this tool. I'm inclined to skip that. And skip. Catherine, do you mind muting your microphone, please? Okay, so here we've got scan hardware, backup files, repair, and reset. Reset is download and install a factory operating system or upgrade to the latest operating system. Up here was fix common problems without doing a full system reset. I'm inclined to take this reset. It says download and install, but that might be using the word download as in download from the recovery partition, hopefully. Start reset. Here's a radio button, restore to factory settings. Windows 10 Core. Restoring to factory settings is going to restore to Windows 10.
No, I think it's because Windows 11 is built on Windows 10, so using the Windows 10 files with like a
Yeah.
The
And-
kernel
modern
hasn't changed.
interface.
And it could be they just didn't change the text on this screen. Sam, it sounds like you were concurring.
Yeah, he's right.
All right. So I'm going to select that. This whole site is grayed out and it says recommended. Now it says requires internet connection. It has a link there for setting up internet. So it's not recognizing an internet connection, but it will let me reset to factory settings without connecting to the internet. So that makes me think there's a recovery partition that has the original operating system. During this process, all of your files will be permanently deleted. Your operating system will be reinstalled. You get the chance to back up your files before you begin. Click Next. Yes, back up my files, or no, do not back up my files. That's my choice, not going to back up. Of course, we don't have anything on it. Remember, the reset will permanently delete all system data, personal files on your hard drive. You won't be able to retrieve these later. Are you sure you want to continue with reset? Clicking the Yes, Continue button. Chris Garrett in chat says SAOD recovery is without USB, but mine is broken, so I have to use the USB. Oh.
Is this laptop from that video that you did a day or two ago about wanting to buy a new laptop?
It's from that person. This is the new laptop. 2 days ago, I told you that he had ordered a new Dell laptop and that was going to take a couple weeks to get here. It arrived yesterday. So the computer that I had 2 days ago was this one over here. I'm working on this one over here now. So coming back to here, next they're saying confirm your reset. I have to click a check mark here. I understand this will reset and delete all my files. Click a checkbox. It has a drop-down reason for selecting a reason. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to click next because the next button is available. Checking the operation system. Operation system? It's an operating system, not an operation system. Cleaning partition, recovery operating system, preparing image file, applying recovery media, create Windows recovery environment, and then create system boot entry. Right now it's on the second of those 4 steps. Approximate runtime 15 to 20 minutes. So that's going to do that reset. I need to end this live stream now because I've got to go take care of some other matters today. And then I was hoping to get this computer to him today, but I think since I'm not charging him for my labor on this, I'm going to tell him it's not ready for you today. And then I'm inclined I'm going to try to come back for another live stream, either later today or tomorrow morning, to continue the rest of that pursuit about disconnecting. I see a thumbs up from Jeff. At least one person likes that. Right?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I don't see anything else in orange. Chris asked, did it arrive broken? No, you need to go back and watch the video to really understand. I'm not going to re-explain it all right now. So thank you everybody for being here. Let's see, my iMac over here says we got 32 concurrent viewers. We got $18.61 in chat revenue. Thank you very much for all those who contributed. I don't think I actually missed anybody's specific contributions. I think I caught them as we went. And let's see, 32 concurrent viewers, 26 likes. That all looks really good. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're on camera 1 there. Here's the Zoom session back. I'm going to switch to my Zoom software and, oh, I was already there. And I'm going to click end. So I'm about to bounce you all out in the Zoom session. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for being here and hanging out. And end meeting for all, 3210. Okay, and then bring my email address back up if you'd like to request a free support session for whatever issues you might be interested in. You can come in during one of these open Zoom sessions, ask a question. You can ask a question in chat, but the thing that I really love is if you would send me an email asking to do a live stream session with me where you come in on Zoom, I connect remote to your computer if that's what's needed, and help you with whatever issue that you'd like to have help on. Or we just discuss some technical topic you want to talk about. Ken Stout says, here is orange. He just shows me what orange looks like. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.